Hello, it's good to have you join us again on this week's edition of Eyewitness Report. I'm Jomi Otaigbe. This episode of the program takes us back to Anambra, where the state government extends its clampdown on activities causing environmental degradation in Onitsha, the commercial hub of the state. Also, hope for impactful governance is rekindled among residents in some rural communities in Imo State as the state government flags off the reconstruction of two major federal roads in the state. Stay tuned for this and more shortly. Several buildings and structures illegally built on drainage channels in the Onitsha area of Anambra State are being brought down in a move by the state government to rid the state of activities causing environmental hazards over the years.
The chaotic environment in Fege is not peculiar to the community, but also obtainable in all parts of Onitsha metropolis, the commercial hub of Anambra State in the southeast region. Traffic jams are a common sight in this commercial area, albeit worsened by street and roadside trading. Shanties are also constructed with impunity on unauthorized spaces. These acts of lawlessness and misuse of public space have resulted in insecurity and environmental degradation. The lawlessness has emboldened some landowners to build on the Sakamore-Wangene drainage channel, thereby causing flood in Fege, Okpoko, and other parts of Onitsha. The demolition of illegal structures built on the drainage channel, which began by the state government 2 weeks ago, continues. Close to the Sakamore drainage is the Fege abattoir. The extent of environmental degradation is appalling.
The governor promised the Anambra, that he will give them a livable, green, prosperous homeland. You can't have it when people have blocked waterways and drainages. What you are seeing here now, if it rains, most of these houses, when we have continuous rain, most of these places will be flooded and people will suffer. It will create hardship. Government is not wicked. I've seen in Facebook people talking about government being wicked. No. Government is there to secure the welfare and security and safety of the greatest number of our people. Those of us who like to eat omelets, no matter how precious eating the egg is to you, you cannot eat omelette without breaking eggs. So please, we beg Anambra to understand that at the end, whatever Mr. Governor is doing is for the benefit of Anambra. and our children will enjoy it.
The exercise moves to Niger Street, where more-story buildings are demolished.
When I was the sanitation committee chairman, I marked both of these buildings, they marked now. I marked them off. Then, the PG sitting then was settled, and he asked me to leave those things. I insisted that those places should be removed. But right now that we have a governor who really cares, who really wanted to make development, who wanted to beautify Anambra State, now that he has come and started the work, I am very happy about it. In fact, I like it. Every landlord who wanted to build a house must know. He must get information that this place is not good. Our government forbids people building houses here.
The Joint Task Force and officials in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce also stormed the Ochanja market, where a land space designated for car parks is now occupied by a multi-story shopping complex. The building is already showing signs of distress, and officials are worried that it could collapse at any time.
Mr. Chairman, you are not doing well, because you should be the first person that is going to report this thing to us. We shouldn't be coming here to come and see these things ourselves. Any life, any single life means a lot to us. In this government, in this particular administration, lives of the citizens of this Anambra State mean a lot to us. So if you see this kind of things happening, come to my office and come and report it. We shouldn't have this kind of things going on in this market. And we are coming to mark these buildings, and we are going to pull these buildings down. So all these dangerous buildings, we are going to pull it down. And you can't just continue doing something like this. Go to traders. We have caretakers here who are the leaders of the market.
Officials realize that retaining walls illegally built by alleged land grabbers are obstructing the natural channel which accommodates storm and wastewater. They stop the construction and order the builder to report to the works office in Oka. The demolition team rounds up the week-long exercise in Oba, Idemili South local government area. The excavator pulls down illegal structures built on government-owned land, illegally sold to individuals.
A gang of youths have parceled land that belongs to government. It is the same hooliganism and, lawlessness which is trying to take over our society. So we are here to ensure that when government sells land to any developer and he pays in hundreds of millions, he should be able to enter his land and not be stopped by hooligans and hoodlums who call themselves commanders. And they were threatening people that if you come here, they kill you. Let them come out and let us know whether, when they meet the full embrace of the law, whether they can override or overcome government.
The state government has resolved to continue with the demolition exercise across Onitsha and other parts of the state, especially in disaster-prone areas. The aim is to make Anambra State conducive for living and attractive for investors. In a related development, officials of the Anambra State Sanitation Agency and traders converge on Ekeoka roundabout as early as 7 a.m. ahead of the commencement of the renewed sanitation exercise. Meanwhile, some are already engaged in sanitizing the environment by desilting drainages and clearing refuse. the sanitation of the market has been an obligation hardly observed.
We have this thing, we as well keep their bucket. So you have to, once you finish it from the market, put it inside the nylon, tie it, go and keep it there. If you dock on the load, if they got you, whatever you see, you take it.
The Anambra State Ministry of Environment joins forces with the State Waste Management Agency to ensure that rules guiding the sanitation of the area are strictly observed henceforth and that defaulters will be prosecuted.
If you don't tie your waste properly, we will not even take it. So by September 30th, we are sure that will stop. We will have stopped all this thing you see because on the street because it's not flour. Refuse is not flour. So Anambra should not be planting refuse as flour in the state. Myself and Commissioner and the board will make sure that on the 30th of September, if you cross Anambra, you will be happy.
We will be enforcing sanitation laws across the state from henceforth, so as to put people in line. The governor has maintained that Anambra must be clean and green, and there's no short corners to it. There's no going back to that. Contractors have been given lots awarded to evacuate waste in Anambra State. So right now, if anybody is seen defaulting the law, the person definitely will be arrested and punished according to the law.
While the sanitation is ongoing, Governor Chukwuma Soludo and his deputy arrive amidst cheers from the crowd. By scooping refuse into a waste basket, Professor Soludo officially flags off the Anambra renewed sanitation exercise. Addressing residents and traders, the governor says he expects committed individual efforts to achieve a comprehensive sanitation exercise across the state.
The environmental sanitation has become more or less a national ritual, but we are starting it again in Anambra with greater vigor, because our program of a clean and green Anambra, we want a clean, green, planned, and sustainable environment. I say Anambra Gadiocha.
To boost the renewed exercise, Governor Soludo announces the engagement of 31 contractors for waste collection. The state governor further assures that his urban renewal plan will be achieved in line with global best practices.
Welcome back. Still in the southeast region of the country, this time in Imo State, where reprieve may be coming the way of commuters flying 2 federal roads that cut across several communities in Imo, Anambra, and Abia states. This follows the flag-off of the reconstruction and dualization of the Olungbe, Orwala Akwokuga, and the Owerri Mbese Umuahia Road.
This is the present state of the 22-kilometer Olungbe-Urala Akokwa-Uga Road, which leaves nothing to encourage motorists and commuters using the federal way to connect Anambra and other states in the southeast and beyond. It has become impassable, dilapidated, and riddled with potholes. Motorists experience tough time traveling on this route Due to its deplorable state, a diversion is made, specifically at the site of the landslide at Ngbi, to caution commuters and prevent accidents. Members of the community and commuters seek government intervention.
We are begging on the federal government to intercede on this particular thing, to come to our aid immediately, please.
And we are begging the federal government to come for our rescue. Because when you see there, all the whole people will get house there, no one live in town again. Then now abandon this house. So live in the town with their children, no one is coming home. Because no place to stay.
We are suffering too much about it. Because anytime there is rain, we are all panicking. People cannot walk on the road again, no motor will pass, even vehicles, machines.
Following growing concerns from motorists, the Imo State government has now set its eyes on this decaying road infrastructure. It is to be reconstructed. The contractor commends the state government for committing to delivering quality roads to the people, promising to deliver the road in record time.
We ask all the people of the Axis to help them in delivering this new extension within the record time and within the same quality that everybody has seen.
The state governor says his government will continue to embark on projects and programs that will have direct impact on the people. He speaks on the importance of the roads to the people.
This is one of the most critical economic roads in Imo State. A road that starts from Owerri Municipal, Owerri North, Abombise, Ayas, Ezinifite, Obo, and tangentially Itubo. You see that 7 local governments are connected directly to this road. Out of 27 local governments in Imo State, 7 are directly impacted. And this is one road that is largely populated. You cannot do 50 meters without finding a house. There is no part of this road that is throughout a bush. So it is enough. It means if this road becomes functional, Malaysia market will also be functional. So it is an economic road. And we have set a standard. As long as we remain here, if we do one road, it will be one road.
Yes, sir.
We don't want to do 200 roads without having one. You look at that signboard. That is a replica of the road we are talking about.
Governor Zodima also flags off the reconstruction and dualization of the 46-kilometer Owerri-Mbise-Umuahia Federal Road. The governor uses the opportunity to debunk rumors that he borrowed monies to finance the road project.
We must thank President Mohamed Buhari, who approved the tax credit for oil companies to fund this road. So those telling you that Hope has borrowed 200 billion now, I borrowed no kobo. So we are starting this road today. The oil companies will pay. And the federal government, they will be deducting the money from the taxes they are supposed to pay to the federal government. So the take-off money, pending when the processes are completed, will be funded by Imo State government.
The state government's intervention received commendations from leaders of the communities on the axis.
What has happened here today is what I call uncommon. The governor we have in this state is called an uncommon governor. This road is called a federal road, but today it's a state road. Because his people are the ones suffering here, he decided to do this job for us. Wonderful. Look at the market is here. Good road, bring more customers. So economically, this place will develop.
It is expected that these roads, when completed, will enhance the livelihood of the people and boost trade and other economic activities.
In Rivers State, motorists and residents of LMA local government area are demanding that the federal government begin the immediate reconstruction of the LMA axis of the east-west road. The call is prompted by the failure of contractors to begin work on the 15-kilometer stretch of the road 1 year after deploying equipment.
LMA local government area of Rivers State is an economic hub of the federal government with the presence of huge investments like Port Harcourt refineries, on a seaport, petrochemical and fertilizer companies, among others. The number of trucks that ply the east-west road attests to the economic viability of this area. However, the 15-kilometer LMA section of the road, which leads to the critical infrastructure here and all the way up to Oka Onome and Cross River State, has received poor attention from the federal government. The only connecting bridge, built in the 1970s, poses danger to motorists.
Every day truck they fall, every blessed day. So we need Met government to help us to do the road because we dey lose. Every blessed day we dey lose. I'm from Trailer Park to reach Refinery Junction, not be small thing. And every blessed day truck they fall. So we need government to help us.
Perhaps the best effort of the government in recent time was the deployment of construction equipment, the release of funds to compensate those whose properties were affected, and soil test for the expansion of the road from 4 to 6 lanes dual carriageway. These measures were carried out following a protest that disrupted economic activities for 1 week in July last year. Leaders in the area are still aggrieved that no effort has been made since then to reconstruct the road.
I see no reason why, after all we went through sometime last year on this same project, we are still back again on this same issue, and we are talking about youths protesting. So if we didn't go that route, if the people did not protest last year, there wouldn't have been any move at all. I can tell you the people are completely displeased.
There are also rumors that the execution of the road project is delayed by funds.
What government could have done, because of the revenue that road generates, you have the kind of revenue that Indorama is paying, both from the petrochemicals operation and from the fertilizer operation. You have the one Notori is paying. And what is coming out, you will see the kind of traffic coming out of the ports right now. I felt that government was going to, what stops the government from replicating what they've done with the Apapa Road? And that is getting somebody like Indorama, like they had Dangote fix the Apapa Road, and then they give the person some kind of tax break, if it's 5 years or 10 years tax break, with the kind of revenue and tax, both in VAT and income tax that Dangote, Indorama is paying. I expected federal government to call them and say, listen, we don't have this paucity of fund right now, but we project that in another 5-7 years, you're going to pay this kind of amount in taxes from the revenue you've accrued. Use this to fix the road. From the last conversation we had with ROCC, it's just 47 billion for that stretch of road. And I know that government can do it, given the importance of that section of the road.
Although the Federal Ministry of Works recently took over the responsibility of fixing the road from the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, the only expectation from residents and motorists to end their trauma is that work has started.
that's it on this edition of the program. Let's do it again, same time next week. I am Yomi Otaibi.